Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here. And in today's video, going to be talking about some player props I like on Prizepicks for the Week 6 NFL slate. We're going to mainly talk about the Sunday games, so the early afternoon, late afternoon games. Not really going to hit on anything in the Sunday night game or the Monday night game. I will have a separate video that I'll post sometime Sunday night where I cover some props I like for Monday Night Football for the Broncos and Chargers game. But for the full Sunday slate, I got 3 props that I'm going to share in this video, guys. So as always, we'll talk through these 3 plays. We will share why I like them. Before we do, make sure you guys hit that like button down below. I always appreciate you guys checking out these Prizepicks videos every week. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. And make sure, if you have not yet, sign up for Prizepicks. Use promo code NOAH. I do want to give a quick shout out to Prizepicks because they are running a really cool promo right now for the NBA season. The NBA regular season does start on Tuesday, and Prizepicks has a free square up. So they basically have Steph Curry's points prop set at 0.5. This is a pick that is basically guaranteed to win. You're going to take Steph Curry to have more than 0.5 points. And pretty much if you find any other pick you like to pair with that, and you get that pick right, you're easily going to triple up your money. So if you want to take one of the picks that I give out in this video, 2 of the picks, or all 3 picks, and pair that with the free square promo, you can do that. Or you can wait until Tuesday when the NBA season starts. If you want to play some NBA picks with the Steph Curry promo, you can do that as well. You don't have to play NBA picks with it, though. You can mix and match sports on Prizepicks. It is a lot of fun. You guys should definitely be playing over there, especially because they're running this great promo. You want to be taking advantage of stuff like this. Anytime sites are offering promotions, deposit bonuses, that's stuff you always want to take advantage of. And if you do sign up with my promo code NOAH, you will get a deposit bonus on your first deposit up to $100. Basically, if you deposit $50, $25, Prizepicks will double that. They'll give you an additional $25, $50 to play with. Obviously, you want to max out this promo. It's a $25 limit on the promo, but you definitely want to be playing as much on it as you can because it's pretty much a free pick. You just have to find at least one pick that you like to pair with that. And again, you can use the picks I give in this video or find some picks that you like for yourself. But definitely take advantage of that promo that Prizepicks is running. And if you guys do enjoy these YouTube videos, if they help you out and you guys want more content from me, I do provide more Prizepicks plays over on Patreon. Also, I do give out additional DFS content over on Patreon. So if you play DFS, DraftKings, Yahoo, I provide DFS content on Patreon. Also, I have a Discord chat that you can join that's available for Patreon members. We're talking DFS, Prizepicks throughout the day. I'm always in Discord to answer you guys' questions. You can see everything that I do offer on Patreon. If you want access to all my premium content, check that out. It's linked down below in the description. But yeah, guys, let's talk through some props I like for this Sunday slate. I do want to recap our plays that we gave out for Thursday night for the Thursday night football game between the Commanders and Bears. We only gave out 2 picks in that video, and we did not hit our 2-pick entry, sadly. We went 1-1, so we split our 2 plays. We did hit the over on Justin Fields' fantasy score. That was one pick that did hit. Our pick that did not hit, though, was Curtis Samuel, took his over on 4.5 receptions. And I felt really good about that prop. I said in my video that the Curtis Samuel 4.5 receptions was my favorite prop out of the entire game. And I didn't like many props in that game, but I really liked that Curtis Samuel one. And unfortunately, he only finished with 2 catches, came up short. But man, if you were watching the game, like Curtis Samuel there was at least 2 balls that he dropped. One of the balls, is a deep ball. He should have caught it for a touchdown, but he dropped it. There was another one. It was like a quick, a little quick route, a little out, or it was like a comeback route. He was wide open and he just dropped the ball. It hit him right in the chest. And then there was another ball. He was going like across the middle of the field. He was wide open. Carson Wentz threw it to him, but the defensive lineman batted the ball down, and obviously Samuel didn't get a chance to catch it. That was unfortunate, man. I felt really good about that Curtis Samuel play on Thursday, but unfortunately, we did not cash our 2 picks on Thursday night. But we got 3 picks to give out for Sunday, and let's try and cash out all these plays. But for the first prop we're going to be taking, it's going to be a reception prop, and we're going to go down to Deontay Johnson. I'm liking Deontay Johnson to have more than 5 receptions this week going up against Tampa Bay. Now, if you look at Deontay Johnson and what he's done this season, he has got at least 5 receptions in 4 out of their 5 games this year. So he's pushed or gone over this line in 4 out of 5 games. And what makes me really like this prop is that Deontay Johnson is heavily targeted in the Steelers offense. So on the season, Deontay Johnson is 11th in the league in terms of target share. He has the 11th highest target share in the NFL. And obviously on the Steelers, he leads the Steelers with a 28% target share this season. And he's averaging 10 targets per game. He's getting a ton of volume. And it is worth noting that Pat Freiermuth is going to be out this week for the Steelers. And Pat Freiermuth actually has been getting a good amount of volume this year. He's got 32 targets on the season. He has the 2nd highest target share on the team. that's even, that's more volume to spread around to guys like Deontay, and then, maybe Chase Claypool or Pickens see some more targets. But I think Deontay Johnson's going to continue to be targeted here. He got 13 targets last week against Buffalo. He only had 5 catches, but even with Kenny Pickett at quarterback, Deontay was still heavily involved. And man, like, he's just a really good receiver. It sucks that he plays for the Steelers team because the Steelers, like, they're just not that good and they don't have that good of an offense. But Deontay Johnson's a really talented receiver. He's a really good route runner. He seems to be a safety blanket for whoever the quarterback is for the Steelers. When Big Ben was at quarterback, he loved throwing to Deontay. Mitchell Trubisky was targeting Deontay a ton to start the season. And, last week with Kenny Pickett at quarterback, he threw the ball to Deontay 13 times. So the volume is going to be there. I like his chances to at least push this line. I think he can at least get 5 receptions for us, if not go over this one. But it is worth noting that this is definitely a game where I think the Steelers are going to have to throw. They're going to be playing from behind. They were playing from behind last week against Buffalo. Kenny Pickett threw the ball over 50 times. I don't know if he's going to throw the ball over 50 times again this week, but I wouldn't be surprised to see 40-plus pass attempts from Kenny Pickett here. I think his pass attempts prop is set at like 36.5. So if he throws the ball 40-plus times, I mean, that probably means Deontay Johnson's getting at least like 9 or 10 targets. And again, he's a guy that usually is able to catch most of his balls. I know he did have some. He had a trouble with drops. I think it was last season or 2 years ago. But he's definitely gotten better about not dropping easy passes. Again, he's a good route runner. He always seems to be open. And I definitely think in this matchup against a Tampa Bay defense that's pretty stout against the run, definitely struggles more against the pass. I don't really see the Steelers having much success running the ball here. I think they're going to have to throw. I think they're going to be playing from behind. And Deontay Johnson should be getting plenty of volume. So I like his chances to at least get 5 catches this week and, if not push this prop, hopefully go over. But that's the first one that I like. And then the next 2 props that I like are both going to be fantasy scores. And we're going to be talking about a couple plays in the 4 o'clock games, the late afternoon games. So the first one that I like is going to be Geno Smith. I like Geno Smith to have more than 16 fantasy points this week. And this was a line that actually did get bumped up. I was looking at this line earlier yesterday, and it was actually at 15.5. So they actually did bump this up to 16. But even at 16, I'm still fine playing this one. Geno Smith, he's gone over 16 fantasy points in 4 out of 5 games this year with the Seahawks. And man, Geno Smith has been playing at a really, really high level. He's been, just really efficient as a quarterback. He's been a really efficient passer. He's been like one of the top rated passers this season. It's been actually very impressive to see how well Geno Smith has played. And he's got good weapons in Seattle. He's got DK Metcalf. He's got Tyler Lockett. Seattle, they were a team heading into the season. I thought Seattle was going to be a team that really just tried to run the ball as much as possible. But that's not really been the case this year. They've actually been letting Geno drop back a lot. They've been letting Geno throw the ball a good amount. Last week, he had 25 pass attempts. The week before that, 30 pass attempts. Against Atlanta, he had 44 pass attempts. This is a pretty good matchup here against the Cardinals. This game does have the second highest total on the slate of all the Sunday games. The only game that has a higher total than Seattle, Arizona is Buffalo, Kansas City. That's another game that should be a shootout, but I think we could get a shootout here between the Seahawks and the Cardinals. I think it's a good matchup for Geno Smith. He's a guy that can throw the ball well. He's been throwing the ball well this year. He's a runner too. Like, he's got rushing upside. We saw him have 49 rushing yards against the Lions back in week 4. He can scramble a little bit, and I just think 16 fantasy points is a little bit too low for Geno, especially with how well he's played this year and given this really good game environment. The projections that I do look at, they currently have Geno Smith projected for just over 19 fantasy points. I mean, he's basically projected for 20 fantasy points. The site that I look at, they have him for 19.5. So 19.5 fantasy points versus 16. I'll definitely take this over 9 times out of 10. I was actually surprised to see this projection come in as low as it is. And if you look at his projections like across the board, so he's projected for 263 passing yards. He's projected for 10.5 rushing yards. And right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, I'm pretty sure his passing touchdown prop is set at 1.5, but it's got heavy juice on the over. So right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, Geno Smith, his passing touchdown prop is set at 1.5 with minus 160 on the over. So he's pretty heavy favorite to throw 2 touchdowns. If he throws for 260 yards, runs for 11 yards, and throws 2 touchdowns like his projections have him for, 200 yards and 2 touchdowns is 16 fantasy points right there. That doesn't include any rushing yards that he gets. Obviously, he could throw way more than 200 yards. That's kind of what I'm banking on here. I'm banking on 200 yards and 2 touchdowns from Geno. And his odds have him going for that. He's minus 160 to go over 1.5 passing touchdowns. He's projected for way more than 200 yards. He's projected for some rushing yards as well. I think this line could definitely be a few points higher. I do feel like this one's too low, especially just with how well Geno's played here and given the good matchup, given the high total in this game. We might see a shootout here between the Seahawks and the Cardinals. I like Geno Smith's chances of getting more than 16 fantasy points this week. So that's the second play we're going to be taking on Prizepicks this week. And then the third and final play, going to be another fantasy score prop. And I'm liking Gabriel Davis to have more than 11 fantasy points this week. This was another line that really stood out to me that I felt like could be a few points higher. The projections that I do look at, they have Gabriel Davis projected way over 11 fantasy points. They actually have him projected for over 14 fantasy points this week. So there's another big difference. Anytime you can see like any projections that you look at, they have a 3-4 point difference in fantasy points. That's a pretty big difference. And Gabriel Davis at 11 fantasy points definitely feels too low here, especially for this spot against the Chiefs. I mean, this is going to be the game of the week. It's going to be a shootout, I would assume. Right now, this game does have a 54 total, which is one of the highest totals we've seen on any game this season. We saw these two teams play in the playoffs last season, and it was one of the best NFL games we've had in a long time. I can't remember what the final score was, but I know there were a ton of points scored in that game last year. Wouldn't be surprised if that's the case once again here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a 31-28 final score or something like that. There's going to be points scored in this game, and we know this Buffalo offense. I mean, for one, they're a really efficient offense. Josh Allen's been, in my opinion, probably the best quarterback in the NFL this season. And Buffalo, they love to throw the ball. They're going to run, or they're going to throw the ball a ton. They're going to rely on Josh Allen. Josh Allen last week, even in a game where the Bills won by 35, I mean, Josh Allen threw for over 400 yards. In week 3 against Miami, he threw the ball over 60 times. Like, they're just letting Josh Allen go out there and just throw the ball a ton. And obviously, in what should be a shootout and what should be a close game, they're probably going to rely on Josh Allen's arm here. They're going to let him go out there and just chuck the ball. And Gabriel Davis is going to be involved in this Bills offense. He's definitely been kind of a boom-bust wide receiver this season. As you can see, he has some really big games. He had a really big game last week. He had a really good game in week 1. Weeks 2 and 3 or 2 and 4, he was pretty disappointing. But he has been dealing with a little bit of an injury this season. I know he missed, I think it was week 3 or week 4, he missed due to injury. He got full practices in all week. He seemed to be fully healthy last week. Obviously he had that massive game last week. I know it was only on like 3 catches, but coming off that massive game last week, getting a full practice in all week here, Gabe Davis should be fully healthy heading into this game. He should be able to resume, playing almost every single snap like he's been doing all season. And we know the volume's going to be there. I mean, Josh Allen is going to throw the ball 40, 45 times in this game, most likely. He's going to target Stephon Diggs a ton, but Gabriel Davis is definitely going to get some opportunity as well. And I just think, targeting this high-scoring game environment and what is a pretty good matchup as well, and obviously a matchup that Gabriel Davis had a ton of success in last season, I feel like this fantasy score prop could definitely be a little bit higher for Gabriel Davis. I think they're disrespecting him a little bit, in my opinion. So that's what I'm liking for the Sunday slate, guys. We're going to be taking Deontay Johnson to have more than 5 receptions, Geno Smith to have more than 16 fantasy points, and Gabriel Davis to have more than 11 fantasy points. Again, if you want to pair these 3 picks with the Steph Curry free square, obviously that is a promo that Prizepicks is running up until Tuesday night when that Lakers-Warriors game starts on NBA opening night. If you guys want to pair this with that promo, you can do so. If you want to wait until Tuesday, I will have some NBA Prizepicks props posted. So if you're into NBA and you want to see some NBA props I'm liking for Tuesday, you can wait, play those with the free square. But again, it's a $25 limit. You don't have to play $25 all on one entry. You can split it up. You can make like 5 different $5 entries. You could do 2 $10 entries and then another $5 entry. It's a max of $25 that you can put on the Steph Curry promo. But you want to be taking advantage of these promos. These promos, Prizepicks usually does run them pretty often. And anytime they do, you guys definitely want to be taking advantage of stuff like that. So make sure you're signed up for Prizepicks. Use promo code NOAH. When you do sign up, you will get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you sign up with my promo code. But that's all that I got for Sunday, guys, for this Sunday NFL slate. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, I appreciate you watching. Hit that like button before you do get out of here. Hit that subscribe button as well. And again, if you have if you want more content from me, I do provide more content over on Patreon. You can check out the Patreon link down below in the description. I do post additional Prizepicks plays that I like each week for Patreon members. Sometimes Sunday morning or maybe late Saturday night, I will have a full list of plays for the NFL slate, more than just more than the 3 picks I gave out in this video. I'll have even more stuff posted on Patreon. I'll give a write-up for each play that I'm on. You can check that out if you're interested. Get access to our Discord chat as well. That is all available for Patreon members. But best of luck this week, guys. Thanks as always for tuning into the videos, for supporting the channel. We'll see you guys in the next one. Best of luck, and I hope you guys win some money this week. Peace.